I'm Josh Thorhagen.
And I'm Matt Pryor.
And we are Alamance.
And you're watching Lindsay Klein's Homegrown Spotlight.
Hey, my name is Lindsay Klein. You're watching the WDHA Homegrown Spotlight. Today we're going to talk to a couple members of our Black Friday. Worked with these guys a bunch of times, done a lot of charities. Excellent band. Let's talk to them now. Welcome to the DHA Homegrown Spotlight. I'm going to talk today with Scotty and Mike from our Black Friday. You're looking at me weird because I called you Scotty. We're buddies.
You're allowed to call me Scotty. You can call me anything you want. Right.
Go on. Go on. Well, it's good to have you guys here finally. It's been a long time. We've worked together many times actually now, which
absolutely.
is awesome. So it's good to see you stripped down acoustically.
You know, we do a lot of acoustic work. We just don't get to do it all that much. I mean, the band's a rock band, and so we love playing loud and proud, but, you know, I'm out all the time doing acoustic stuff, open mics everywhere. So a lot of the music that we write, we write it together acoustically, and it just kind of blossoms from the acoustic. So it all starts here anyway.
Awesome. Now, how long has our Black Friday been a band?
The band has been operational, I guess you could say, for almost a little over 6 years, and we've had, you know, a handful of characters that came through it. And I mean that with all due respect, because there's been a lot of talented guys that played in the band. But you know, personalities don't mesh, schedules don't mesh. People are playing in other projects. It's just hard to keep a band going. Michael's been with the project as long as anybody has, and Jimmy, who just played in here as well. But we've had a really solid lineup for the past year. We're working on new music, which is great, and it just feels good to kind of be going again.
Yeah. No. So is it all of you guys when you write your music, or?
I think it starts kind of from a source. Like there's 2 or 3 of us that'll kind of come up with an idea. We'll come to the group, and then the group's either like, "Hey, let's work on that," or "How about we shelve that one?" And that's really kind of how the process has always worked, and it seems to continue that way.
Describe your sound. What have you been, you know, for listeners that are just seeing you today?
God, we've had people say that we sound like everything.
Hip-hop.
I've had to hear Creed, I've had to hear Bon Jovi, I've had to hear things that Alice in Chains, Foo Fighters. I mean, I think as a band, we certainly listen to that stuff, and it comes through in our writing. You know, I always tell everybody I'm a music fan before I'm a musician, and so when I write stuff hopefully has a hook and a melody that people will remember when they see it live, maybe humming it on the way home. So just like when I go to a great concert and see something and maybe it was a song that's new to me, and I have that little part of it in my head, I want people to take our music away the same way and have a little jingle to go with it.
Absolutely.
You know?
Talk about, I mean, what I did with you guys so far. DHA has been a part of your bands. You've put on Jam for Janice. We just did Rock in the Lake recently.
Right.
So where's that come from? Because, you know, some of these bands are just starting off, and you got these huge ideas. They're great, and they're all like benefits, and it's just awesome. It's great to see you out there. And
those events, they stem from charitable causes, you know, and that's a big part of my life. My mother's a 2-time cancer survivor. That kind of drove me to get involved with things that I never really knew about. I do a lot of work with the Valerie Fund, this place called Camp Happy Times, which helps children with cancer. That was just almost like a life movement. Once I got into it, I couldn't get out of it. And, you know, yeah, I have some maybe grandiose visions of things, but the projects that we're all part of are usually doing good for other people. And,
and it's
there's
local
no better feeling than that, than like knowing, you know, yeah, you have a kick-ass show and you jam and you rock out, but you know, at the end of the day, you raise a bunch of money for kids or veterans or people that really needed the help. And I think that's where, why can't you do it bigger? If the music is there, they're going to come, and you bring better music, more people are going to come to it. And so everything I get involved with, I try and help where they ask me to help, or I just sit in the background and say, what do you need me to do? I'll do it.
Yeah, no, very impressive. Definitely have to check these guys out, and I'm loving the ideas, and we're actually really honored that you invite us all the time.
We always
and me,
invite you guys.
I get to come.
Absolutely. Lindsay, you're always invited, and you know that.
That's because he gives me Reese's peanut butter cups.
That's true.
Just kidding. What are your favorite venues? You know, I know that you're doing a lot of acoustic things, but our Black Friday, where do you guys play out most?
I mean, because we're an original band, predominantly, we're usually doing showcases or charitable events like we're talking about. But now we've got some momentum going again. We started working on new music. We're going to try and do some stuff locally here. We're going to do some stuff in Morristown. We played out at the Cup down in Linden.
Dexter's was nice too.
Dexter's was a great venue that we played at, that people had seen us there. Mexicali is a great venue. I mean, there's a handful of good venues in New Jersey that certainly support local artists that are doing original material. So we'll try and team up with a tribute band or a cover band that'll help us, you know, bring some fans in. Hopefully we'll kind of glom onto their fans if they like our stuff, and vice versa. You know, we want to book gigs with great bands that are out there doing both originals and covers. But for us, I mean, the bread and butter is our original music. We just started doing more and more covers ourselves, and you know, you throw them out there. We did the Foo Fighters song at Rockin' the Lake, and let me tell you, everyone was singing it because everybody knew that song. You know, the handful, the Pockets, Tommy, and other guys were singing our songs. But we want to start integrating some cover songs just because it'll make us a little bit more marketable as a band.
Right. Where can people find your music? Plug all of your websites.
Well, you know, we're on Facebook, we're on MySpace if that's still around, Reverb Nation. So just find Our Black Friday. If you just Google Our Black Friday, you'll see a ton of stuff come up, and it'll get you to Facebook. But we're trying to use Facebook as kind of the main vehicle. Everything seems to go from there. Everybody's on Facebook so much, you know, because they're all at work, not on Facebook, right?
Multitasking. I don't know what you're talking about.
So we want to take advantage of these awesome multitaskers and go to Facebook and check out the band. And, you know, we got a lot of new music coming down. I'm involved in a film project now that we're going to be part of with the music doing the soundtrack, and so that's a big deal with the Frozen Flashback. So those are, and again, that's another charitable thing that kind of spawned into something bigger that no one really thought it was going to happen. So.
Look at you, look at you. Okay, last question I ask every band. You've been doing this for some years now, and I'm not talking about your age, I'm talking about the band.
29.
Piece of advice for bands just starting off, original artists in today's era.
You know, there's my personal advice, because I am out playing music 3 nights a week. My personal advice is find good open mics, because they're really blossoming. They're all over the place now.
It's good.
Get some good open mics. There's a great one in Morristown at the Dark Horse. I mean, they set you up with a pro stage, some lighting, a smoke machine. I mean, it gives you a chance to practice your art. Mm-hmm. But, you know, the more people you're going to play in front of, it seems like more artists step up. Mm-hmm. You know, when people get in front of more people, yeah, maybe you get nervous, but just get out there, do your thing, be confident about it, and, you know, take criticism. That's the biggest thing, because I welcome it, because all I want to do is polish what we've got based on what other people see and hear. So that's my
Nobody
advice.
has said that yet. I like that.
I would also, not to chime in.
No, chime in, you're here. Scott doesn't talk a lot at all.
Not at all, man. I would say to keep your passion with the music.
Absolutely.
It's discouraging. You know, and you see a lot of people, you see the stardom, like, oh, I want to be up there on stage. I mean, who doesn't, you know? But if you keep it, you know, with your love for what you're actually doing, it might take a minute, you know, it might never happen one day. You never know, but as long as you keep your, you know, the reality of what you're doing is a love for music. I mean, that's why we're up there.
I pretty much can second that. I mean, if I didn't have any passion to do this, we wouldn't be doing it. We wouldn't be chugging through all nonstop. I mean, that's what it's about. So I love it. We love it. That's why I think we're
Love. All right, thank you so much. Our Black Friday. Check them out.